100 women. Omega Green with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Real question. Women, do you realize how often it is for you to ask offensive it is for you to ask a competent man in our community, those you offend and revile, to take responsibility for the kids you had with inferior men? He sent this a while ago. I think it pertained to the last I think he kind of addressing Dr. Umar a little bit, maybe. Perfect Wisdom with the $10 super chat. An oxymoron. Allow a leader to lead.
Facts.
Perfect Wisdom with the $2 super chat. How about a degree in humanity? What does that mean? I don't know. Go ahead, love. Go ahead, love.
He was getting that row.
So I wanted to. Chief said a lot, and then there's a lot said in between. But I'm going to try to be very concise. What'd you say?
Ain't nothing concise about you, nigga. Go ahead.
You want all the smoke tonight. I'm going to give it to you in a minute. You hold fast. Communication. Right?
You hold fast? Only Gunny and Rose sat up straight when she said that. They the only niggas understand that.
I don't even know what that means.
All right, go ahead.
I never heard that before.
Go ahead.
So, like I was saying, communication. I'm trying to be concise. With what Chief was saying, what we talked about. So I'm going to piggyback off what Q said, because before she said that, I was going to say, yes, that was displayed was toxicity and communication. You hold fast. Yes, Nina. Communication by a female. Men, I've seen some traits of men do that as well, but their toxic trait is being passive aggressive and are saying, here you go, when we're trying to communicate. And then that invokes a response. And so communication is very important on both sides, because you can't trigger someone while they're talking to you and saying, here you go, because you've already let me know you're not trying to hear what I have to say. And so then it just, from there, you set the tone. The tone is set. I need to talk to you. I want to talk about how I feel about X, Y, and Z. Oh, man. As you always say, Ham, and we all know, communication is also nonverbal as well. And so men show very toxic traits in communication. I want to say that part. I want to address Chief's question. He asked the question, but then he answered it himself. Do y'all reflect on what you say or how you say? What was the exact question? You answered it though, Chief. What was it? Do you all reflect on what you say?
On how you say, how you're saying, how your response is delivered. Yes. Yes.
And the answer is yes, I do. After every single freaking show, I do. And I'm up all night because I want to be clear, not just on this podcast to get my message across, even though I get interrupted a whole heck of a lot. I also want to make sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh that hard. I also want to make sure in real life, my message is communicated. Because I want to talk for a reason. I'm talking to you because I want to get my message across to you. So I want to be clear. How can I ensure a message is delivered with the intention, with the sentiment and all of that? So I do reflect. If a conversation goes bad, I do always think like, dang, what could I have done better? And what can I enact or what can I implement in my life to make sure it does go better next time? Because I want to make sure my message is delivered. So you have to want to talk to someone. And I think a part of that is just being very intentional with your conversations.
I don't.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you land.
Yeah, I ignored Gunny. He wants attention. I'm gonna ignore him. He is an attention-seeking child that always wants to make a moment, and I'm just ignoring him. This is like a 2-year-old.
You're not ignoring him.
No. I'm talking about. Right. No, I was talking about. I'm referencing Alex actually.
Yo.
I was talking to her. So anyway, I just want to make sure.
Love, let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question. When you 1 to 10, 10 being bad, what is your body language? Don't you do it.
Don't you?
You want me to answer? Don't answer?
No, I'm just going off of what each.
like, what are you talking about? Don't answer.
No.
My body language, I think it's misunderstood. Because when I'm sitting here quiet,
from 1 to 10,
I was gonna say the
5. A 5.
What?
5.
So let me
put him in a fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
So here's what I'm gonna say, love. There isn't a person on this panel that would give you a 5 in regards to your body language, and that's the women included. Secondly, when you reference yourself processing and reflecting on I guess I'm not sure, the energy or the tone or whatever you use in the episode, there have been consecutive episodes where if the reflection was done, there was minimal change because the energy was the exact same the next episode, and then the following episode, and the following episode. And this isn't whatever. We bringing the smoke right now. All I'm saying is, if the reflection is happening, it should present differently, even in your body language as the episodes progress.
So let me address that, because you can't tell me what I do after every episode. There's no possible way that you can. I absolutely do reflect. And if you're not seeing the change that you feel needs to be done, that's something you have to work out within yourself. But I know what I know what I do. And when I sit here and I'm quiet and I'm thinking, I may look to the side, I make to look to the left. A lot of my body language is misunderstood. I put it that way, misunderstood. And so changes are happening, because there have been times that I would have popped off a whole lot quicker than what I did. Okay. I celebrate small victories.
So I can
the one time as well, and the last time, because I remember you said in the chat the one time, me getting off the show because I was upset. I'm going to protect my peace. I'm going to, and you don't know what happened throughout the day or whatever. And so if I needed to get off the episode because it became too much for me, I'm going to protect my peace at all costs. Now, you may not have felt that it was a correct response, but I felt it was a perfect response. So I didn't do anything that I felt would embarrass me, and I would regret it. Okay. So there's times when I make decisions that I feel are best for me that you may not agree with. That doesn't mean I'm not making change or positive direction in the change.
Okay. So in those moments where something triggered you, set you off, whatever, and you sat there and took a little bit more time to deliberate on your response, the response is still the same. You just took longer to give it, is what I'm saying. In the energy you produce, in your tone and your body language, is what I'm trying to say.
No, because what I'm saying is I could have popped off at Gunny right now for doing that corny stop the cap crap. I could have. But because I'm doing better now, I just sat there and said it was played out. He's being a 2-year-old. I could have popped off. But I didn't.
Isn't that the sign language hand?
Yeah.
Y'all have doing sign language all night long. I don't understand, because I'm ignoring what he's saying and did not pop up. Per your point, I pop up so much and there's no change. I'm telling you exactly what the change has been.
I'm saying minimal, but in your responses, it's still a similar response. But what you just did is what we just talked about. Isn't that the sign language, Ham? Y'all use sign language all the time. We literally just had this conversation.
We did, and it's funny to me because it baffles me how I'll say men, you complain about a certain behavior or a certain character or trait, action that a woman does, and you saying stop doing that. I'm really asking how can you say stop doing it? It's a bad thing to do when you're doing the exact same action. So when I say you're doing the same exact thing, if it's so offensive, then why are you behaving that same exact way? I'm asking that question. If sign language is so poor and so bad, why are you doing it? Aside from sign language, if you feel raising your, go ahead.